Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is James Ramos from At the Quarter. Oh, I'm at it again. Here's my 2026 Florida Derby pick, and my pick would be Commandment. The Commandment looks like it's going to be a replay of the Fountain of Youth. I believe that Commandment will win this race as he did the Fountain of Youth. I think that race that showed us plenty of what this horse is capable of, coming from the inside and being resolute. Had Chief Wallaby had him beat by half a length, coming with an eighth of a mile, 1 furlong left to the finish line, and still came resolute on the inside to prevail by a nose. And this shows something a lot of 3-year-olds are yet learning is how to come from the rail and be resolute. You know, it's easier to beat a horse coming from the outside, but from coming from the inside and just being determined and making up that ground on the inside, it shows at me that Commandment is a horse to beat in the Florida Derby. It doesn't look like it's going to be paying. This race is going to pay that well. I think it's going to be chalky. I like Chief Wallaby coming second. He has a nice gait. Looks like the farther they're going to go, the better he's going to run. And just he has that natural gait of wanting to be a router. I saw him when he won his maiden special weight when he beat the Puma in that race, and he just came off the pace about 5 lengths off and just ran down other rivals and won convincingly. So my first pick will be Commandment. My second will be Chief Wallaby. I'm looking to play the superfecta in this race. Now, news is that the Puma, the winner of the Tampa Bay Stakes, is going to come back and run in the Florida Derby. I'm not sure that's a great idea because that's 3 weeks away, and you're only X amount of days until the Kentucky Derby. And what you don't want to do is haggard out a horse as a 3-year-old. He's already run his maiden from the Sam F. Davis Stakes, and also the Tampa Bay, which he won. But I still have to use him in superfectas in third and fourth spot. Bravazzo is another horse I like. He's a playback for me after I had him in the Fountain Youth. He showed some potential when he lost to Nearly in the Holy Bull, and I think he could improve if the track has a little moisture and a little give so he can make it a reasonable close. So I'm using Bravazzo and the Puma in the superfecta, and that's what I like right now. I have to play the superfecta. There's not a lot of value. Now, Nearly, the winner of the Holy Bull, hasn't faced a company Commandment or Chief Wallaby, and I think he's just going to be not as good as the top 2 tiers. And I could be wrong, but I'm dropping off Nearly because that'd be 3 favorites in a row. I got to find some value. So my first pick will be Commandment. Second will be Chief Wallaby in the super, and rotating down the Puma, and also Bravazzo. If Bravazzo and the Puma scratch, because the trainer of the Puma says he's going to work this horse out later in the week. If he responds well and works well, he is pulling to the Florida Derby. And it looks like if he doesn't, they'll audible to have more time. The race that they might audible will be to my understanding, will be the Bluegrass Stakes, where in weight will be Paladin that he'll have to run if he runs in that race. So it doesn't get any easier. We're at the end of all the races for the Kentucky Derby. If the Puma skips and goes to the Bluegrass Stakes, my pick early right now would be Paladin. I think he has done no wrong. He's going to be super favored, and there's no price in this race. But I'm just being honest, ladies and gentlemen. Paladin looks like he's a horse to beat in the Bluegrass Stakes. So maybe in some weird way that the Puma has a better, easier spot here against Commandment and Chief Wallaby. And that's neither tongue or cheek. I'm just hoping that he has maybe an easier ride. So it depends on the trainer of the Puma if he's going to stick him into the Florida Derby or audible to the Bluegrass Stakes. So give a little bit more time. Like I say, you don't want to hagger out these 3-year-olds because they already had certain amount of tough races. The Derby is just around the corner. They're going to have to train and to see how it works out in the end. So that's why I like those 4 horses, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think it's going to pay a lot, so that's why I have to try to force a superfecta. If I lose both my Bravazzo and the Puma do not run, and it looks like it's a Cole Exact, Commandment, the Chief Wallaby, but I'd be an XA and I wouldn't play it because it's not going to pay a lot. You know, I don't want to put that much money. I want to make money, and I don't put a ton of money on 2 chalks. Nearly was convincing in the Holy Bull Stakes. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not taking anything away from that horse. If you like him, that is to your opinion, but I just don't like him against Commandment or Chief Wallaby. I really like Chief Wallaby's way, his run style. Commandment has guts. That's the reason I'm going with Commandment and Chief Wallaby. So that's what I have for you today, ladies and gentlemen, early this morning. And this is James Ramos from At the Quarter Pole, where winning and history run neck and neck. Have a good morning, ladies and gentlemen.